Yo boys, back for another video. Yes, this is not gonna have audio because my last one it got messed up on the audio, so we're going in the old school style where I already have it edited. I'm just voicing over it, getting out there so you guys can see the good old fast sub a rogue. And I'm not gonna lie, these games were actually difficult, and this was at the lowest CR I've ever played, and this is the reason I don't recommend playing arena like twos wise. I think twos are the worst I've ever played. So here I end up evasioning. Anytime I face a rogue and I open on their target, like their teammate, I'll end up evasioning, especially if it's a DPS. Now, if it's a healer, I'll let them open on me, but if it's if it's double DPS, I'll usually just evasion on the open, so then the rogue can't do anything, as you can see when we open. So they end up smoke bombing and instantaneously one-shotting my teammate. The good old-fashioned one-shot you. I end up blinding the rogue here, stunning the lock. I end up just full sending him. If he stuns me or anything, we trinket. They have nothing to stop me. He has a stun here, which is not going to help him from me destroying his teammate. All I have to do is shadowy duel his teammate here, and he's pretty much toast to Revi owned. So I end up shadowy dueling, and he actually ends up shadowy dueling me, but the guy ends up dying anyway, so very unfortunate. I end up getting him out with blades here. So at this point, I could gouge him. We'll see what happens. So he gets a really good disarm there, and I end up getting a vanish, which is really bad that I vanished there. And the reason is because I had a full gouge DR, which I could have gouged. But then again, I vanished for the sap, so it was a really actual solid. Now I can full Kenny off this. So we're in a really decent spot here. So you would think he would die here, but like him being a rogue and all, but no, he does not die. He lives. He survives to live another day. I end up gouging him. Now the problem with gouging him is obviously it's already DR'd from the good old fashioned saps. So here, if he just full sent me, honestly, if he just kept on me right here, I was dead. I was like, bro, I'm juiced out. There's nothing left. He ends up running away here. I end up getting a rupture right before he gets away. So then if he tries to get a restealth, he comes back out. So I have evasion. That's all I got right now. So honestly, if he kept on me and I'm just smoke bombing to get a restealth, I end up stunning him. So we get the first play here, but it doesn't really matter that much because he ends up just tanking all the damage. Because eviscerates don't do damage with this build. Like this is like the worst. Like this is the worst like eviscerate build that you can play. It's basically just based off a cool blood and technique, and if you don't kill, then GG, you just leave. So he ends up having blades up again. So I was like, yo, it's gonna be a GG. Thankfully, he messes up his stuns, and actually, he blades with no shadow dance. So it's kind of awkward. Had he waited for shadow dance, so if he stayed in still, waited for his trinket and then shadow dance, he probably would have won this. I'm not gonna lie, because he had 10, 15 seconds on his trinket, so I ended up just using every cooldown, and we ended up taking him out. So good old fashioned W's. And by the way, these are rusty games. I mean, the last time I played sub is the last time I made a video about it. So this has been a couple weeks. I've just been playing making assassination. So with my luck, my third game, I end up facing the good old bad Peekaboo, and he ends up trinketing it, 2 seconds in a stun. So he basically trinkets a 1 second stun. The priest ends up trinket doming. So we get every single cooldown, even though the DK gripped him in. So mid grip, this guy trinket domes. They already have used evasion and trinket. So if this was not a rusty game and I used my buttons correctly, guess what? This would have been a different titled video today. This would have been the good old fashioned Peekaboo gets absolutely farmed in every way possible, and I would have got millions of views, and I finally would have been, able to make some money. But unfortunately, I shadowy dome, and I absolutely do no damage. I thought he was gonna die. I'm not gonna lie. He had no dome. I ended up using everything I got, and he lives at 1% because I don't evasion his gouge. Look at this. Oh, oh. So he ends up surviving at 1% for 2 seconds, and then I end up leaving. So I had the good old-fashioned rage, but when you have cold hands, that's what I had. My hands were moving so slow that I didn't even know what I was pushing. I was clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, and then vanish. That's it. I didn't know what else to click at the time. My hands were too slow. I knew what to click, but my hands weren't fast enough, so it wasn't working out for me. So this guy evasions air, which is nice. He actually evasions A-bomb, which is kind of good. He also ends up tricky cloaking, so that's kind of awkward. This guy's spamming roots, which is irritating, so I cloak it. So my guy ends up triggering the silence for no reason. This guy ends up using his death mark on me, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I think death mark is one of the useless cooldowns unless you're facing a non-healer comp. Like, it is so bad, because everybody can dispel it now. I never used it versus a healer and not have it dispelled in legit 3 seconds. Every time, I swear, every healer can just legit dispel it, and it's crazy. So here I shadowy dome, thinking that I'm not going to kill him, and I actually get the most lucky. So instead of eviscerating, because eviscerates are useless, I end up just spamming Shadow Strike, and I actually kill him. I was very happy about that one. And then we face a Warrior, Wrestler Druid, and by the way, these are the lowest CR games. So these are like 16 and below. So like these are just solid games that are supposed to be like double DPS. Like these are like 2400 games, or no, I'd say like 2200 games in Shadowlands. That's how crazy it is. Like I feel like I actually have to try versus these people even though they're bad, and even if I'm playing bad, it still is the most irritating thing I've ever seen. But yeah, I would never play twos. It's impossible to learn in twos right now. You're either a multi-glide all or you do not queue this. It is the most frustrating bracket I've played to this day. I think it's worse than any BFA. It's worse than anything else. It's mainly because they're letting these 1, 2, 3 classes be the meta. Like Assassination Rogue can never be the meta. That's just how it is. A warrior can never be the meta. Like those type of classes are meant to be A tier, and then you're supposed to have setup comps be S tier. So then people are wanting to get better at the game, and when you're doing a setup comp, like if you're doing jungle, if you're doing RMP, if you're doing, a hunter, a mage, a rogue, when you're having to do setups for a certain class, that's what makes the game good. Now I'm not saying warrior cannot be, terrible, but I don't think any class off their CD should do anything. I think on the burst they should do unhealable them, and off the burst they should do nothing. But that's not how it is right now. Right now it's like your burst does a little bit, and then you're just consistently doing like 50k a second. It's stupid. I think if you're gonna burst, get some burst going. You're supposed to like if you Hosh somebody and they have zero cooldowns and their teammate has zero cooldowns, he should die in like 2 seconds. Like every class should be doing that. And that's just me though. Like I think if you're not clicking cooldowns on their cooldowns, it is what it is. So he ends up doming, and I actually end up killing him through it. This is the first time I've ever killed through a dome, like from 50%. So I was very proud of myself right here. I actually finally killed somebody in a shadowy. Like I'm telling you, it is so hard to kill somebody in a shadowy duel. Like I had to leave every other game because it's just not possible. Like if I don't have my teammate alive anymore, I cannot do it. Because it's like I don't have enough pressure. Like in Shadowlands, when I had the trinket, it was easier because like I can get him to 50% and then my trinket would kill him. But now it's like I have to forcefully do all the damage, and Subro can does not have that damage output. It's like Subro can theoretically get you from 100 to maybe 40%, 50% max in a shadowy duel. That's all that's gonna happen, unless you get like the most incredible hit crits on like our sub rogue, like you saw me do versus that Restator rogue. Like if I get humongous crits versus a rogue that's like has no verse, that's a situation where you're gonna kill him. And for some reason, when you kill these roots, it actually doesn't break. So I wouldn't even recommend killing the root. I think it does nothing. So I guess I don't know if you guys know, but it's super RNG if the root actually breaks. It's actually bugged right now. So even if you do kill the root, you'll still be stuck in the root. So it's like I don't even kill it. I just let it sit. So I would recommend not killing it, not wasting your energy on the root. Like it is what it is. It's not gonna break unless you legit have like a full eviscerate ready to one shot it instantaneously. It's not gonna break. So here we end up opening here. He ends up getting an insane grip to break my sap. I end up falling off because the good old fashioned rusty fingers just slopping around. I end up blinding here. I'm surprised he didn't trick on my blind. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what he's doing. Honestly, when you're playing a double DPS, it's all about you. See, and he trinkets 1 second into the blind. So this was kind of, and he hits me on the side here. I was very questionable. He ends up iceborning the one shot. I end up actually CCing it, so I gouge his one shot here. I think he forgot his one ability, but it'd be alright. So we end up locking him out. This is my shadowy duel here, and I'm kind of energy starved because I'm running full mastery, and yeah, I give him to about 30%, and then I kind of just swap, and that's how she goes. We end up killing him. The good old fashioned W. He ends up actually almost killing me, but I get a kick just in time for. I don't even know how I kicked it. I think he walled just in time for him to get his non-kickable thing off. I think I just got in the blink of an eye, because if I didn't and he just kept casting on me, I probably would have just been dead. But he ends up leaving here, so we were very we take whatever wins we can get at 1300. And if you guys wonder why my rating's so low, yes, nobody queues twos. So if you look at some of these twos right here, then they're rank one, they're playing at like 1300. Yeah, nobody queues two. If anyone's queuing twos right now, like for real, it's like I feel bad for them. I think they're the main thing they're just doing viewer games. Like I can see Mud or like maybe like Naj or like Peekaboo. But like even Peekaboo over as a rogue right now currently, you are not carrying over like 1800. Like consistently winning. It doesn't matter how hard you play or how good. Over 18 to 1600, you will have the most difficult. It doesn't matter how good you are. It will not matter. So here this is a situation where I've gotten every cooldown. I'm gonna vanish. Now this theoretically I would kill in any other situation like in Shadowlands, but here I get him halfway and then GG no re. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.